I'm getting over an ear infection right now, and I don't really feel like going through video game footage for my other videos, so I decided to rank every song by the Callous Daoboys. The Callous Daoboys are a mathcore band from Atlanta, Georgia, known for having a very chaotic sound and having the inclusion of a violin in their lineup. Over the past couple of years, they've carved out a really strange, loud, and surprisingly emotional corner of heavy music. I first got into the Callous Daoboys in 2019 with the release of Die on Mars. I didn't really grow up listening to bands like Dillinger Escape Plan or Every Time I Die, so the sound was pretty new to me, and it just completely blew my mind and pretty much reshaped the kind of music that I listen to in general. They were one of my first introductions to a really mathy style of metal. I would say them and See You Space Cowboy were two of the first bands that I listened to into that, I guess, kind of subgenre. I've always been into metal and alternative music, but I just never really gravitated towards that kind of stuff until 2019 or so. Where is my fucking mouse? I'd even made like a sample lyric video for the Flip Flop song. It was at a time where I was kind of experimenting with video editing and I wasn't 100% sure kind of like the direction I wanted to take it in. So I started doing like these little lyric videos or whatever, and they saw it and they liked it and they actually reached out to me. So that was probably one of the cooler things that happened to me during that time, to be honest. I hadn't really consumed much of their music prior to Die on Mars. I did listen to a bit of Animal Tetris before doing this whole thing, but there was another album that I didn't even know existed that is hilariously named My Dixie Wrecked. I'd never heard it before. It's listed as an EP, but I'm just going to include it anyway, as well as Animal Tetris, because fuck it. So let's dig into My Dixie Wrecked. The violin at the start really sets the tone for where this band is headed. But after that, not much happens. This is a good intro song, I guess, but I'm gonna have to put this one in the D tier. This one's slow, and honestly, the violin's doing most of the work here again. It's not bad, it just really doesn't stick with me.
What a wonderful sense of time you have.
Closing out the 3-track joke, You Know I Had to Do It to 'Em, What It, things finally started to pick up a little. The middle section's got some cool stuff going on, but overall it still kind of feels like they're just warming up. So this one's going in the C tier as well. Now we're getting into some actual Daoboys energy. It's kind of chaotic, kind of all over the place, in a good way. You could hear them experimenting, throwing stuff at the wall. Not quite there yet, though.
You feel the blaze inside you!
This one feels more dialed in. It's got some cool moments, and it sounds like they're starting to figure out how to shape all this noise into something more focused. The violin on this one is just so evil sounding, and I love that. The riffs are good too, but nothing really groundbreaking, so this one's going in the C tier. This is easily the standout. It's long, sure, but it actually goes somewhere. Lots of shifts, cool dynamics, some real payoff. You could hear the evolution just from the beginning of this record to the end. Now, I'm pretty sure Animal Tetris was recorded only a few months after My Dixie Wrecked. The sound has come a long way since their first release. This track is just relentless. Chaotic in all the right ways, and that haunting violin at the end really just ties it all together. Honestly, it rules start to finish, so A tier. This one's quick and chaotic. It's like trying to shake you awake. Really fun track, super mathy, lots of weird twists, and the vocals are good too, so this one's going on the B tier. The violin on this song is just insane. This is really a solid track all around. It doesn't reinvent anything, but it holds its own. Same deal. Another good track. It keeps the momentum going without sounding like filler. This one bounces between like a mathy chaos and these gorgeous little violin breaks. It's cool, but doesn't hit quite as hard as some of the others, especially knowing what their later work is going to sound like. Yeah, but it's interesting to see how they're already incorporating these kind of jazz-influenced breaks, if that makes sense. I don't know shit about music. I'll be upfront. I don't know shit about music. I'm just doing this for fun. So if I say something and it sounds absolutely incorrect, feel free to yell at me in the comments below. I will learn. This band really likes saving the best for last. This is easily an A-tier track. So now we're moving on to Die on Mars, the album that got me into this band initially. And album's the same. It's perfect. It's a perfect album. To me, this is where the Daoboys sound really locked in. It's an all-out sensory assault almost. Then halfway through, it hits the brakes and lets that violin float for a minute just before slamming you again. This may have been the first song that I heard by them. I don't recall exactly. It was either this or Fake Dinosaur Bones. Regardless, S. Instantly S, yes. That crisis actor section at the end lives pretty much rent-free in my head. There'll be times where I'm not even listening to music and I'll just like...
Up the boat you buried as you fell from grace.
Top 5 songs ever. Not just Daoboys. Ever.
Oh yes, I will take this back.
Absolutely ruthless. The spoken word section in the middle always grabs me, and the back half is probably some of the heaviest stuff this band has ever recorded. This is definitely more of an interlude, and I wasn't sure if I was going to include these, but I have to. It's a gorgeous song, and it adds a nice breath between the chaos. The song is unhinged in like the best way possible. I have no idea what the song is about, but the steak tartare bit that they cut to makes me laugh every time, every single time. This song also ends on another bit that I sometimes just find myself quoting for no reason. Packed with great moments, start to finish. One of the strongest songs on the record, without a doubt. This one kind of sneaks up on you. It blends in some surprisingly goofy bits, little moments of humor tucked between the chaos, and the ending, so fucking good. Pure chaos. This is Daoboys firing on all cylinders. This one's kind of a sleeper. It has like the least amount of listens on Spotify, which I mean, I guess one song has to, but I'm surprised that it's this one, because the ending of the song is just fucking amazing. There's so much out there that I wish I spoke. You could really hear the evolution here. This extremely dynamic sound that they're pushing for really hints at where this band is going. This one's more of a cool down than a proper song, but I love when bands use old sounding recordings like this over like pretty instrumentals. So I'm including this anyway, and it's S tier. All right, it's a new day. I had to stop recording and write the rest of these reviews. So we're moving on to Celebrity Therapist. The first time I heard this album, I had just driven a friend across the country and was flying home from Atlanta, coincidentally enough. And I I must have listened to this album like 4 or 5 times back to back on that plane ride. It's one of those albums that just I clicked with immediately. This one wastes no time. The structure is absolutely unhinged in the best way possible, with so many parts that stick in your head. Insane opening track, S tier. This might be the Callous Daoboys song in my opinion. It's insane. I mean, there's a Twin Peaks reference. I mean, come on. The song feels like a mathcore sampler platter. Every section showcases something different. We have melodic bits, chaotic bits, weird shit. It's all here. Okay, I lied earlier. This may actually be my favorite Daoboys song. It's the most dynamic thing they've ever written, and it's the first one I show people when I'm trying to convert them.
The house where you no longer live, and even though I've forgotten the gate code, I'll still feel the struggle.
Another extremely dynamic song. The ending is an absolute highlight for me on this album. Another fantastic track, but on an album full of S tier songs, one of them has to be an A, so I guess it's going to this one. I've been combing through the lyrics, and I'm not even going to pretend that I understand what this song is about, but it rules. Ending the album with another dynamic masterpiece, Star Baby is the payoff that this album was building towards. So after getting 3 years with that last album, we now finally have a new record, I Don't Want to See You in Heaven. And I was a little disappointed when I first listened to the singles. That being said, I was a bit early to dismiss the music, and I regret that decision because this album, I'm not sure that I love it as much as I love Celebrity Therapist, but there are so many good moments on this album. I kind of just feel bad for my initial dismissal because it's a good record, so. This feels like the final form of everything the Daoboys have been building up to. Everything kind of just clicks into place here. This one really grew on me. A nice blend of pretty and chaos, which I guess basically describes this album as a whole. The first track I heard from this album, and probably one of my favorites now, the evolution of this band has just been insane. Easily one of the heaviest tracks that this band has ever written, with a fucking insane feature from Adam Easterling of Orthodox. How do you follow up the heaviest track on your record, though? Lemon takes a bit of a break from the noisy guitars, and it's an interesting song that I probably wouldn't have liked if it had appeared anywhere other than this album. It's such a shift musically from the rest of the songs, and that immediately made it stick out to me. This was supposed to be ours. Body Horror for Birds is great on its own, but paired with Lemon, it kind of just turns the middle of the album into like a slow motion emotional spiral. It's gorgeous, but it's just a little too much back to back, if that makes sense. I'll be honest, there's a lot in this record that I don't fully understand. And this song is where it started to feel a bit overwhelming. Not in a bad way, just kind of intimidating. I started this by essentially just judging the music because I'm not someone who really digs into lyrics too much. I will from time to time, but most of the time I'm kind of just listening to the music, getting that feeling from the music itself. And starting to dig into these lyrics really kind of showed me how much more there is to these songs. And yeah, like I said, it's pretty intimidating. Opening with a chant that the vocalist Carson explains comes from his grandfather, this song is an insane experience. It sounds like something ripped right out of an Arsonist Get All the Girls record, and it was a nice change of pace. This one starts slow, but it builds into one of the most unique sounds the band has ever put out. Really haunting electronic elements seem to be clashing with everything else, and it just builds this really interesting sound. It feels like this song just keeps picking up speed. Distracted by the Mona Lisa is another dynamic song on this record. You get a groovy chorus, some cleaner vocals, and honestly, it leans more pop punk than mathcore at times. It feels like something that snuck off of a Sum 41 album and kind of just crash landed here. But in a good way, I love that. This band has really mastered the interlude. They snuck a really pretty song in the background of what sounds like, this might be a super niche reference, but those videos that are like playing Africa by Toto in a abandoned shopping center, if that makes any sense at all. It has that feeling of like ambience that I really like. Closing out the record is Country Song in Reverse, and this thing is a beast. Just shy of 12 minutes and packed with everything the Daoboys have in their arsenal. It opens with like a 3-minute slow instrumental that kind of just builds into this showcase of the most experimental elements that this band has to offer. It's chaotic, it's melodic, theatrical even. It's like a victory lap for a band that has mastered their madness. It's a total masterclass and S tier for sure. Alright, so that was me ranking every Callous Daoboys song. I know this is really different from the kind of content that I usually make, and if you watched all of this, thank you very much. My goal with this video really was to engage with this art in a setting that I'm more comfortable with, like video, and hopefully expose this music to an audience that may not have encountered it otherwise. That's it for this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.